So, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I suggest we take it very naturally and go and,
Yes, we are.
I'm just waiting for the confirmation that we are live. We are live. We are on
Yay.
Facebook. I'm just gonna mute myself on Facebook because otherwise I can hear myself twice, which is slightly annoying. There we go. So, if you're watching us live on Facebook, live in Zoom, or anywhere else on replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Isaiah from isaiahbell.com, and across me, you will have the incredible, the amazing, the ever so wonderful Gisela Backe. Hello,
Hi,
Gisela.
everyone. Hey.
So we're doing this live today, Q&A. So if you're watching us live, you're welcome to some questions. If you're not, which there were some people registered, but maybe they're not here and they want the replay, you will find the replay everywhere, basically, everywhere we can think about sharing it. So it'll be on my Facebook, it'll be on my YouTube, it'll be on Gisela's Facebook, I'm guessing too, and wherever. So we're going to try to come up with questions of our own. So I'm going to be playing the dummy person that knows nothing and asks the questions, I'm guessing. And what are we asking questions about? Well, the incredible retreat that we co-created that is happening in what we call French Fields, so in the south west of France, nearby the Pyrenees, somewhere in between Toulouse and Bordeaux, if you have some kind of French geography in your head, which is also a couple of hours north of the Pyrenees, the incredible Pyrenees Mountains, and the border for Spain. So that is where I'm lucky enough to live and to host this incredible retreat in August of 2025. So if you're watching this in the future and you've missed it, you'll have to come next year. So this is a very special retreat. I'm a retreat host and organizer, and I've been for years, but I've never done anything of the sort. And I'm really excited to welcome Gisela, who will be the main facilitator of the retreat. And we have decided to call this retreat the Silver and Fire Transformational Retreat. Yeah,
Yes.
that's impressive, right? I'm just going to go and check on Facebook if there are already people watching and comments and everything. Okay, we are live, so that's good. So I'll go from time to time to check that what's happening. And yeah, the Silver and Fire Transformational Retreat. So, dummy question number one, why is it called like this?
Well, we play with silver, we play with fire, but the transformation is not only when we transform the material, which I will show in a moment. So we get a visual, but the transformation is also what happens with us if we, or not only if, but when we stop thinking, when we start creating, when we, go back to ourselves, to our innate creativity. And we have that from like we are born with that. And then with everything, we tend to have a lot going on in our heads. And this retreat is a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful invitation to relax into the own creativity and and then to recognize oneself again and tap into that well.
Love
And
that.
this and very often people recognize themselves again, who they really are, not their persona, not their image of self, but the incredible power. And should I already show?
I'm going to go for dummy question number two
Yes,
before you start
yes,
showing. So you
yes,
said silver, and
yes,
I want to be very specific. We're talking about actual jewelry, silver. Like it's
yes.
not this is not a retreat where you come to think about it. You come to actually do it with your little tiny hands or big hands, if you're like me.
Absolutely.
And we plan to have our amazing attendees really create something, a physical object that is going to be made out of actual silver. So we're talking precious metals, right?
We
And we're
talking pure
talking,
silver.
yeah,
Yes.
and we're talking jewelry, right? Of course, and we will come back to that. So I'll pause my dummy persona for just a second. It's way more than just a jewelry retreat. So it's not about only about doing the jewelry, because this particular material that you intend to have us work with is not the traditional silver. So if you guys have, or you ladies have in your head an image of what silver is, aka a piece of metal that is, you need specific training to be able to
Yes.
handle it. This is not what that is,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 100%.
So tell me more. What is it then?
So, um, it is actually pure silver, and it looks in the beginning, it looks gray, grayish, and that's, and I hold it into the camera, and I hope that one can see that.
Oh, it's like an old gray chewing gum.
Yes, yes,
Not very
it
impressive, if I'm honest.
and you know, it's like and the wonderful thing is that we, during the retreat, we play with our conceptions. Like you said, we imagine silver to be solid, to be
Hmm.
hard, and then I have to, you know, I have to use my power and strength to do something. But it's the opposite.
Mm.
It's really letting go and say, okay, I, it's also a matter of trust. You have to trust me that this is pure silver and yourself to, oh, can I really make something out of this?
Yeah, am I
And
am
we
I really that creative? Yes, you are. Spoiler
absolutely,
alert.
yes, yes. And it's working on those different layers, so to speak. It's
Mm,
not like we work with a material and it's gray, but it's pure silver. And sometimes we feel like that. We
mm.
know we have worth inside, but we feel not enough.
But we look like an old chewing gum.
Yeah,
It has
basically.
the consistence of clay. Would that be
It's yes,
accurate?
yes. It's the consistency of clay, and if you ever worked with clay, then it's and also pottery clay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have different stages. At a certain point, it's dry,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's fragile,
Mm.
and sometimes things break. And in the process, this can happen, like we have in life. And it's a wonderful way of observing yourself, your own reaction. How do I react to failure when something
Mm.
breaks?
I just
And
realized that I completely forgot to hit record, which it doesn't matter because we're streaming on Facebook, so I'll grab it from there, but I forgot to hit record.
it's okay.
I was excited.
It's okay. Good that we're streaming on Facebook. Wonderful. Um, so we, as I said, we work on different layers. We
Mm,
we also, while we are creative and we can get lost in our creativity or in the process itself, we can also take time to take a pause and to say, how do I do things? And
mm-hmm,
how does it play out here? And how does it play out in my life? And
mm,
do I want to change something about it? And then it's not about creating habits or anything, it's about the noticing
mm.
and stop analyzing.
What I
So,
find really interesting, I've never played with any such material, but for me, what it appeals to is my inner child, because it's like, I've played with clay when I was a child, creating little figures, and and it seems like something that, for me, as a non-jeweler, and this is not a retreat for people who consider themselves jewelers or creative persons in jewelry specifically. So being that person myself, I can say that what I feel that I could give myself permission to be capable in this. That's not like frightening. If you give me actual silver and you tell me, okay, we're going to teach you, that feels like, ooh, this is something for professionals. And we are not a jeweler's retreat. Although, if
No,
you're a jeweler, you're welcome. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're not, and you've never done anything such thing, I'm pretty sure in your childhood you've played with Play-Doh. If you've done that, you can come and play with us. Am I right?
absolutely. Yes, yes. And the I mean, I'm there to teach.
Of course.
Like it's it's not only the safe, like talking about safe space.
Mm,
It's also, you don't have to know anything.
mm-hmm,
Just willing to show up and see what shows up on every level, and having fun.
mm,
You said, like, child and Play-Doh. We want to have fun. We want to have the lightness, the see what happens if I let myself play.
mm,
And the most amazing things happen. Even if something breaks, then sometimes it's like, oh, if that didn't happen, then I would not have now this amazing jewelry, because I would not have put those things back together.
mm.
So there cannot go anything wrong, because you can
That's really
always
cool.
start
Yeah.
over. You
Mm,
can always start over or make something completely new.
mm,
What we won't admit is giving up.
mm. So this is step one of the process, is playing with what is silver Play-Doh, let's call it this way. And that's
Exactly.
the silver part, but then you mentioned fire.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how does this work?
And unfortunately, I don't have the burner with me. But so on the technical side is, when we fire the piece, then the organic binder, which holds together the fine silver particles inside,
Mm,
and it's dry. So we have silver particles, we have an organic binder, and we have water. And
mm,
in the process, we work, when we knead and we mold, then we have the water. But this is then drying off, and then we can, file it, and how do you say, smoothen it.
mm-hmm,
And then comes the fire,
mm-hmm,
and it's above 650 degrees Celsius and
mm-hmm,
below 900, because we need to be below the melting point. And in the process, when we fire, we actually take fire and fire the little piece, and the organic binder burns off, and we
obviously.
have we have a little flame. And then we keep the thing in the glow, in the heat, and the silver particles melt together.
Oh, so
So
they
we
kind
have a
of,
little we have a little shrinkage because of
mm-hmm,
the melting
mm-hmm,
process, and then what remains is pure silver.
yeah,
We have no other connection than the silver itself
itself.
connecting
Mm-hmm.
to each other.
Once the
To
actual
the
bond, the
Yes,
natural, the organic one has burnt and the
yes,
water has evaporated, we then
yes,
end up with 100% silver.
yes,
Um,
yes,
and so the piece is actually literally set on fire in order to emerge from the fire, phoenix-like, right?
absolutely. And this is like, in before, we were all like with fairy hands, like we are really careful so not to break it. But afterwards, it's real silver.
Mm,
Can brush it off we can then polish it and we can do whatever we want with it. And of course, wear it.
Of course.
And like it's really it's the energy of the creation, the energy of our vision, if we want to, if we want to have a picture of what we want to achieve. For instance, it could be then we can take that in and into the fire and put this into the piece, and then we know it's our secret helper. We have this as a reminder, as an anchor, and we can come back to it. Because sometimes, and daily life, and we get up in our heads again, and then sometimes it's really good to, oh yeah, I actually remember I can do this. I've seen myself. I am my own witness. Through this piece, I have proof.
Yeah, I have what we call in our spiritual business world an anchor, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
something that is a physical object symbol of something else, right?
yeah,
So obviously, if we do this in the course of a retreat, it means it's a process. We start day one and we proceed to the point where we leave with the object, right? So
yeah,
this is a retreat that happens over the course of 3 days, right? If I'm
yes,
not mistaken. I have to go and
yes.
read my notes because I don't remember.
So
So we
it's Friday afternoon,
over a
night.
weekend, yeah.
Yes, over weekend. Yeah.
So the plan is to leave on the Sunday with the object, but the object is not the only thing you leave with, because you also get to experience the creative process and
Yeah.
the symbolic, psychological, emotional process as well, depending
Yeah.
on exactly what you come with, what you bring. And that's not to say, correct me if I'm wrong, that you should come to the retreat with a plan. You don't need a plan.
No,
You
no.
can have a plan, but it's not like, oh, I'm not going because I don't know what I would do.
And
No
that's
problem.
perfect. If you
Yeah.
that's absolutely perfect. And I would even prefer because when we don't know, we are even more open to
Yeah.
the possibilities we then see when we are actually in the moment itself. And that's also the beauty, because when you're creating, you are in the moment itself
Of
and
course.
nothing else is going on. And that is where we not only, psychological, emotional, creative, we invite spirit.
And of course, that is the transformational part, right?
Yeah.
Because this whole process means that we can go in the retreat with an intention that we will help you craft if you don't have it. And as we were saying, it's good if you don't have it beforehand. And then hopefully, when you leave the retreat, you leave with that intention at least partly manifested in the object and in yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
Good. I'm not such a dummy then. I got it.
No, 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 no.
I'm joking, but I'm trying to make it really simple to understand for people who,
Yeah.
have not heard about the incredible work that you do, which to me is, the fascinating thing is that there is so much talk in the spiritual world about anchors and about transformation and change and receiving magic gifts from angels or gods and here rather, the invitation is, how about you create the magic object? How about you literally have the magic object on your finger or around your neck or on your ears
Yes.
when you leave, and you can put it on again and again and again because it's pure silver. So it's not like, you grab a flower from, it's amazing to grab a flower and put it on your desk, but after a few days, the flower will go.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That brings me to an idea. You can even come with a flower and make it into the silver.
Oh,
So
I love
it's
that.
like it's like mind blowing. There is so much possible.
Yeah. And of course, the fire part for me, there's this thing about, the symbolism of fire that is all about basically reshaping, burning, melting, reconstructing, whether
Yeah,
we talk about glass or metal, obviously, or even the phoenix, as I was mentioning. But we're
yeah,
talking about real fire. Again, yes, to the symbolism, but the main anchor is in the physical world. And for me, that is very, very powerful because it's like it's got this two layers. We're talking, there's a lot of
yeah,
people talking about there is dimensions. And
yeah,
here we are both in the 3D, very material, concrete world and the
absolutely.
5D, all over the place, quantum,
Yes,
symbolic,
yes,
metaphysical place. And that I love, really. So
yeah.
when I thought about, hey, how about inviting Gisela to do a retreat? It was not a thing that took me a long time to be okay with it. Because we live kind of far away, right? You
Yes,
are from Germany, uh,
yes.
and not from the south of Germany either, are you?
It's
No.
southwest. It's
Southwest, okay.
yeah, an hour from Frankfurt.
Okay. Oh, well,
South.
I'll be over your house tomorrow. I'm going to Greece, but for weird reasons, I have to go to Frankfurt and then
Oh
back.
no, really? Okay.
Crazy airplane situations. But anyway, so yeah, when the idea came that we could come around here in the month of August for a few
Yes.
days and really bring this knowledge, technique, skill that you have around this particular thing, I thought, there, this is amazing. So we decided to create a collaboration retreat where I do my crazy woo-woo stuff, basically. So I'll be doing the opening and the closing circles as we do. And every morning, so on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, I will be doing some meditation and deep entering the sacred space as I do. And then you will be doing the teaching and the accompanying everyone into this, yeah, physical transformational
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
which is, yeah, as I was saying, both physical and metaphysical.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I would like to go into the kind of the opposite of what we just said, because, why not? And also reassure people that they don't have to have a metaphysical plan. You can just come for the fun of doing some jewelry, and the
Yeah.
meaning will come. The meaning will appear if the meaning
Yes.
is to
Yes.
appear. It's not about, oh, this has to be me, this is what I want in my life to change, etc., etc.
No. No.
Um, so we do this in my house, which is an actual retreat center. So I live in, as I was saying, in the middle of nowhere, in the southwest of France. So it's a beautiful 18th century house made of stone. And there are many rooms, and there's a big hall where we can work, which will be hopefully by then decorated again, because we've just stripped it to do some painting. But I promise it'll be all right. And so there are rooms for, obviously, this is a retreat, so people are invited to sleep and eat there as well. So everything is included. You have a bed in a room that is a room shared with one other person maximum. And there's a shared bathroom also. And then you have food, obviously. Hopefully good, healthy food. We live in a very rural area, and there is a way to really buy and create some amazing food that is not processed. This is the plan, at least, because I believe that this participates to the joy of being in a retreat. There is also one special perk around here, that it's in the middle of nowhere. So there are no other people. It's a very, how can I say that? It's a place where you can really quiet your central nervous system, be with the trees and the birds. And there's going to be time over the course of the weekend to just enjoy that,
Absolutely.
get out
Yeah.
of the city where most of us live and go into the green.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
um, if you want to come to the retreat and stay a little longer, a couple of days before or after, there's also this possibility. And we have lakes that you can go and swim in. We have amazing music festivals. There's a lot of things happening if you want to, or there's a lot of peace happening. And maybe that's exactly what you need, you who are listening to this. What else am I missing?
I think the
Oh,
size of the group, and
yes, the
then and
size
then
of the
the
group. Yeah.
cost, and then the cost.
Well, first I want to go with the size of the group because I think it's one of the things we insisted when we imagined and created this retreat. This is not a 50-person retreat where you will be lined in a classroom and Gisela will be at the top of a classroom going, you do this, you do that. This is an
Oh no, no, no.
intimate, very tiny group of maximum 8 persons. Hopefully, we'll do that as a women retreat. But, we're not against the men per se. It's just that I personally know how to work with women. It's easier for me. But if you're a man and you're interested, just reach out anyway. We can have a conversation. But the intimacy is really important because, well, if I got you right, we are going to go deep. And you are going to come with us and hold our
Yeah.
hands in this deep
Yeah.
exploration and transformation. And that means that this is not a classroom,
Yeah.
it's a retreat. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Before we go into the cost, I want to specify that, as I was saying, the food is included. Uh, Hopefully, we can get a dinner at a local restaurant. Hopefully, um, obviously, snacks and non-alcoholic drinks. If you want to drink alcohol, your choice, but bring it, please. And what is included mostly is the silver itself, because we have to be very specific that if we're talking about real, authentic silver, this is worth a lot of money. So
Yeah.
this is included. Obviously, you will not be asked to pay for the silver on top or even to bring your own silver because
Yeah.
Gisela will come with a magic silver from wherever she buys it from or she creates it from. Who knows?
Oh.
And so the retreat starts on the Friday night, 6 p.m., we said, and then it ends at 6 p.m. at the latest on the Sunday night. And for all of these things that we've mentioned, the amazing teachings and help from Gisela, opening and closing ritual circle with me, morning practice for connection to inner wisdom with me, incredible experience, transformation, all the silver, and maybe some surprises, you pay 555 euros. You can pay in two installments if you want to. Yeah, I think that's the gist of it. And yeah, there is I'm gonna share the sales page for the retreat below the video on Facebook right now because otherwise I forget. Oops, I hear myself in stereo. There we go. Um, the On the sales page, you will find also both of our contacts if you want to know more about us. First of all, bios and all the whole shebang, websites, etc. But also, if you want to talk with us, with either of us, and have a deep conversation about is this retreat for you? Is it the right move or is it not? And this is not a sales call. This is a
No.
conversation.
Yeah.
This part is the sales call or the explanation calls. But if you want to talk with either of us, you will find the contacts on the sales page, and you can reach out and book yourself for a conversation. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then what else? Do you have any other questions that you get asked because you do this regularly?
Um, just to show you at the end, this can come out of it
Ooh, show me, show me. Oh, I love it.
like this, or
The one you're wearing on around your neck?
Yes, yes. Well, this is with gold, but yeah, something like that, or something like that,
Ooh, beautiful.
or a little. I have a little scallop here. So only like there are very different things possible, just
Yeah.
to show you this is the same material, the same chewing gum, well, made of it, and this is pure silver, and that's kind come out of it. So we really have like let me
I think
my
there are a few good photos on. Oh, now
yeah,
we can't
just
hear that for some reason.
okay,
I'll shut
okay.
up.
I
No, no,
just
I need to stop talking. That's why. Yeah, no, we can't hear it for some reason. The
okay, then
microphone
zoom
doesn't.
in. Just wanted to, that it's real metal.
I believe you. And although Zoom doesn't seem to, but Zoom has got his own nervous persona. Um, Sorry, on the sales page, you have a few photographs also of
Yeah,
finished products.
yeah,
But they literally, if we take the two, if you maybe you can do that. Can you hold one piece, one finished piece, and one chewing gum, so we can
yeah.
have a um,
Yes,
yeah, exactly. Oh, absolutely. So we can go from this to that,
yes.
and obviously symbolically.
Well, if you the fun thing is if you would just sell the material to someone who buys silver, it would be the same cost.
Mhm.
Like the worth is already in us. The worth, it's pure silver. But and that's the thing, to believe ourselves, to feel our worth, and that is when we get out of our heads, over through our hands into our hearts, and this is really the thing. We work with our hearts, and
Mm,
that's where we are really who we are.
exactly. I love
Yeah.
that. So yeah, this is really and it's as we said, it's a almost 3 days retreat. This is not a let's rush this and create something and then get it done. Basically, this is a deep dive into this process for the silver and you as the silver, etc., etc. So we take time, and we also enjoy the fact that we can do that from a literal place of peace and quietness. So we can first arrive into this place
Yeah.
outside and inside of us, so that we can get
Yeah.
into the process of creation, in on a peaceful and quieted nervous system, and then magic happens, right? And then you bring the fire, and please, not my house. The tool that you have for the fire looks a lot like something we use in kitchens in France.
Exactly. It's a creme brulee burner thingy, torch. It's called torch. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, technically, I forgot to mention that if you're flying in, uh, the nearest airport is Toulouse. But we do not, in the price of this retreat, which, as you noted, is a very low price, we have not included flights, obviously, nor have we included transfers from the airport or station. We can arrange that for you, either come and get you or, arrange it in some way, shape, or form, but that would be at a cost. Also, as I said previously, alcoholic drinks are not included in neither at home nor if we go to a restaurant, because that would be more expensive. And we decided to keep really the retreat on a very low cost, so that this is not an excuse for you not to come. But it's not because it's not worth more.
Yes.
Let me just be specific about that. Now, if you have any specific questions, please reach out to either of us. On the If you're talking about the strict jewelry, reach out to Gisela. If you want to know more about accommodation or things like that, reach out to me. If you don't know who to reach out, pick one and I'll transmit the
Exactly. Yes.
information if you don't know who's in charge of this or that. And yeah, we really hope to go through this journey with a tiny group of motivated transformers.
Beautiful. Yes.
Now, yeah, do you have any other things that you think should be mentioned, or questions that you get asked regularly? I don't want to miss anything here.
It's just that we are very specific with the number of people, and if there are not enough people,
Yeah, also
will
that,
not.
absolutely.
Yes, we will not. So
Yeah, Gisela
that's
does come from Germany, right?
yeah,
And to keep these costs low, we need a certain number of people. But also, um, there are not many spots. So it's kind of, we have to
yeah,
find this sweet spot of it's filled enough so we can afford it. We can afford to offer those prices, but it's not too filled because we don't want this to turn into a huge classroom. So,
yeah,
basically, what we're saying is if you're in, jump in fast.
yeah.
Um, and if you have a few friends, bring them with you. But not too
Yes,
many friends
yeah,
because
yes,
otherwise we'll be over the
yeah,
top.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, this, we didn't specify, I think, that because what you showed when you showed the finished pieces, most of them were pendants. It
yeah.
doesn't have to be a pendant.
It doesn't have to be, but it's the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
And to make it easy, I would prefer a pendant because with rings, for instance, the firing process is needs to be very long, very intense, and to have a result that is really strong,
Mm-hmm.
I would go for a pendant.
Yeah. Also, if I may, a pendant you wear on your heart. So if we're talking transformational
Yes,
stuff,
yes,
it's really, it's like
yeah,
rings have a completely different symbolism that is very often connected to committing to someone else. Maybe a pendant is committing to you, to
yeah,
yourself,
yeah, yeah,
which I love really. I think it's really beautiful imagery. I had a whole thing about a few years back about marrying oneself.
yeah,
Maybe you can consider this pendant to that we create for ourselves
yeah,
can be our token of committing to ourselves, to this
yeah,
transformed person that we
mm,
are after.
yeah,
Yeah, I think we're almost done here because we have no one asking specific questions. So we're trying to cover the questions for anyone who might be interested. What else? Cancellations. If we do not have enough participants or attendees, we will cancel, in which case, obviously, if you have paid, you will be reimbursed 100%. No question asked, obviously. Otherwise, there are dates. So if you cancel for any reason, there and before June the 30th, you get a refund. If it's after that, unless it's us who cancel the retreat, there is no refund possible because we need to start prepping for the retreat and
yeah,
buying the stuff, etc., etc.
exactly. Yeah,
Uh, I will mention a brief thing about health, as in, the COVID thing, so masks and everything. Um, there is hopefully nothing of the sort going on in France at the moment, but you will be sharing a bedroom with somebody else. If you come with a friend, you can obviously ask to share that bedroom with that said friend or spouse or friend or special person. If you don't come with someone special, you will share with someone that you don't know, your responsibility to make sure that, if you want to freak out, you freak out. you know, if you want to know more about accommodation, you will find a few pictures on the sales page, or once again, you can reach out to me and I will explain how this goes. This is not, oh, I forgot to say that, and I have to say it every time. This is not a luxury style, one bedroom, one ensuite bathroom, and a jacuzzi. This is a rustic, rural, beautiful, a little more posh than a camping site. No, it's not. No, it's not a camping site. But I just don't want people to imagine that they're coming into a Las Vegas hotel, because this is not it, right? It's beautiful. The mattresses are very good. I promise, because I think that this is important. But it's not a bling. Yeah, let's put it this way. It's not a bling glittery place. It's an old farm of the 17th century that is still standing.
Amazing.
And very colorfully renovated, I must say, as you see behind me. Yeah, I think I'm just having a look at the sales page myself. Yeah,
I think the what comes to mind is the language,
oh
obviously
yeah,
English, but we can also translate like
yeah,
French. That's not, I cannot.
but I can.
German I can,
Mhm.
but preferably the main language will be English.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the general magic can be applied to releasing emotional blocks, to tapping into your inner wisdom, to feeling lighter, freer, more connected to yourself, and to walk away, as we were saying, with a silver talisman infused with your personal journey. So using the power of fire as a catalyst. I'm reading here, but I think it's well written, so I'm going to read it. So yeah, if you feel like experiencing that with an amazing group of intimate women, come along. If you want more info, don't hesitate. And I'm going to end this by saying that if you do listen to all of this and you live actually around here, um, before or after the retreat, I don't remember. There
After.
might be there might be a few other opportunities to work with Gisela on a daily basis, so 1 day base, and maybe even half a day. We'll see how that comes. So the retreat is not your only chance to catch Gisela while she's around here. And she will not come if there are not enough people for the retreat. So get going. No, I'm really, I'm going to go once again and say it. I think that the work that you do is incredible. I think it's not common. I've not seen anyone else do that. And I think I'm very lucky to have you as a friend and a co-creator of this retreat. And I think that anyone who would decide that this is their retreat would be incredibly lucky to work and do this work. So, yeah. Not to say that it's a one in a lifetime opportunity, because we might do it again, but it's a first in a lifetime.
It's a first, and probably it's the, yeah, also price wise.
Yeah, price
It's
wise,
our,
if this happens again, it's not going to happen at those same prices, to be sure. Voila. So,
I'm
well, thank
looking
you very
so much
much.
format. Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
very much for having me, Gisela. Thank you very much to everyone for listening to us, if you're still listening to the replay. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, just reach out.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you soon in Zoom and maybe hug you in August.
Yes, wonderful.
I have
Thank
to
you.
stop the thingy and I'm not sure I can do that. Okay, I think that's it. Bye.